Manchester United 0, Southampton 0. Really disappointing result for us Manchester United fans. How did we end up in this position? Let's analyze. So let's start this analysis video by looking at some wasted opportunities. In the first half, I think we've had some very good opportunities that could have put us in the lead, and that would have been a game changer in this game. For example, let's look at this opportunity right here. Beautiful play between Marcus Rashford over here and Bruno Fernandes. Rashford passes to Bruno Fernandes and goes in between the Southampton defenders, finds this pocket of space. Really pacey, really fast, explosive player. But here is the problem that I have with Rashford. There is no denying this is his best season, and there is no denying his talent. However, just as we've seen in the game against Manchester City, where he could have passed to Anthony Martial, in this situation, I mean, look at this. He could have ran with the ball at least a couple of yards, and then look, Weghorst is actually moving into the penalty spot here, where he would have been free. But Rashford, why did he do this? This has cost us a sure goal, and this was around the 16th minute. Scoring a goal at this point would have been devastating for Southampton. We are playing at Old Trafford. We have much better players than them. That would have given us the momentum, and it would have been very hard to climb the mountain for the Southampton players. But that's not the only opportunity, really. I mean, there is this opportunity as well. Immediately after that was not really that far off from that one. Casemiro towards Bruno Fernandes. Now, as you can see, Sancho here and Marcus Rashford are able to make runs. There you go. This was a poor ball. I mean, he could have gone a little bit forward here towards Jadon Sancho. But anyway, just shows that we were able to create the better chances. But then there is a chance that I could not forgive Marcus Rashford. And it's this one, which was just 1 minute after the chance that we just seen right now. Again, Casemiro, decisive in midfield, wins this ball cleanly. Now Sancho has the ball, runs with it. Marcus Rashford finds this pocket of space. Beautiful ball. And then look at this first touch. Come on, Marcus. And then, of course, Bazzano goes in and gets the ball. But the reason why I'm showing you these things is because I believe that had we scored a goal, one of these chances, all three of them could have been goals for us. But had we scored that goal in the first 15 to 20 minutes, that's it. We could have won this game 2 or 3-0 in the first half, just like Arsenal against Fulham. But the fact that we didn't score kept Southampton in the game, okay? Now, let's talk about another thing, which is, of course, Casemiro related. Now, this is a great chance that Southampton were able to create, the chance that has led to David De Gea's beautiful reflex save. Now, Alcaraz over here. Now, first of all, Bruno Fernandes, I'm going to credit him because this season, he has been a great servant of Manchester United, a great utility player. He's played on the right, on the left, behind the striker in his favorite number 10 position. But in this game, he played deep in midfield alongside Casemiro. And his work rate this season has been amazing. Still, it's not his game to be defensive, so I forgive him for this. But Casemiro, look at this. Casemiro is not done like this by many players. This is not the Casemiro we know. He seems a little bit off. These past few games, he seems a little bit off. But anyway, the ball goes in. Wan-Bissaka, poor clearance over here. So Southampton still have the ball. Now Pero has the ball over here. Now, it's very important to pay attention to Theo Walcott and Luke Shaw over here, because what I've seen here is exactly a carbon copy of that goal that we have conceded against Arsenal, the equalizing Eddie Nketiah goal. And it seems that this is a common problem with Manchester United defenders. Against Arsenal, it was Aaron Wan-Bissaka. This time is Luke Shaw. Look, the cross comes in. Shaw positions himself in front of Walcott, but as the cross comes in, Walcott sprints, comes in front of Luke Shaw, and then beautiful header. Now, of course, David De Gea is able to save it. One of David De Gea's strengths is his reflexes. But had this ball, had this header been placed to his right or to his left, no goalkeeper in the world would have stopped this. So this, Luke Shaw should have done better. Never let the striker be behind you. You have to be able to see the striker to track their run. You have to be aware that they are going to make these kind of runs. And here, Luke Shaw had struggled with it. Tyrell Malacia has struggled with it, and Wan-Bissaka and Diogo Dalot as well. So our fullbacks are really vulnerable to these kind of balls, and definitely Erik Ten Hag has to look at ways to help us improve in this department. Then, actually in the 10th minute, Lisandro Martinez got a yellow card, and again, Casemiro was at fault. As you can see here, Casemiro in this situation tries to go with a direct ball that gets intercepted, and then it goes around the course of the game towards Lisandro Martinez, who has no choice but to commit this foul right here, which has, of course, costed him a yellow card. For a centre-back, especially centre-back like Lisandro Martinez, who is quite physical, quite aggressive, playing the whole 80 minutes with the yellow card, that's extremely risky. He was walking on thin ice. But here I am a little bit conflicted with what Casemiro just did, because on the one hand, he's been a breath of fresh air in our midfield. Those of you who watch the Scarlet Report, you know how much I love and respect and appreciate Casemiro. And I think his trademark, direct passes, are actually one of the main reasons why we have been able to create and exploit weaknesses in the opposition and create chances. But also sometimes, just play it simple. Just play it simple, because when it backfires, bigly. So also, if you remember, against Betis, actually, the goal that we've conceded was because Casemiro also misplaced one of these passes, and then Betis Sevilla were able to counterattack because of that. So I was not surprised when this happened. So now let's talk about the big elephant in the room, Casemiro's red card. So when we look at this, look, especially this right here, I mean, look, if you ask my opinion, based on this, was this a red card? I would say yes. It looks aggressive, it looks dangerous, it looks violent, right? The main problem that I have with this is not this. If a referee tells me, okay, this is red card, it's deemed aggressive and violent and dangerous, red card, I'm like, okay, I can see the rationale behind it. The problem that I have with it, however, there are some videos right now circulating. I think one of the United Stands viral videos, a short video, has emerged that showed Andre Mariner, who was the fourth referee in this game, the VAR referee in the Southampton versus Manchester United game, was actually the main referee in the Chelsea-Leicester game 24 hours before. And there was this tackle by Amartey on Joao Felix that looked exactly like this. He went straight for his ankle. And yet Mariner did not deem it violent enough, dangerous enough to be a straight red. And yet here, because he's the one who actually overturned it to turn it into a red. The other thing also is the penalty that Liverpool got against Bournemouth, that Adam Smith handball. That was actually similar to the Bella Kotchap handball here against Southampton. True, he fell, but why should we be penalized for that? Because he lost his balance. It's the same thing with Adam Smith. His arms are in the air, far from his body, because he's trying to jump as high as he can. That's just the natural thing to do. And so all I want, I don't care if you tell me this is a red card, but I want some consistency. How come it's not consistent? And when you look at the ratio of marketability of the league, as well as overall quality in management and players of the Premier League, compared to the quality of the refereeing, then that gap is huge. The Premier League deserves to have the best referees in the world. And yet it doesn't. It has some of the most shocking decisions. I mean, the Premier League in terms of refereeing is behind Europe. And so now we are losing Casemiro for 4 games. 4 crucial games. Fulham in the FA Cup, Brentford, Everton and Newcastle. Strong, tough, resilient and annoying teams to play against, where you need your best midfielders. And Casemiro is definitely our best midfielder. But, of course, now this was not really optimal. But there were also some great things. One of the best things that I loved about this game is that it shows the Manchester United character. Is that despite the fact that we were reduced to 10 men, and it's really tough to play with 10 players for 2/3 of the game, the players were still able to defend, compact like a unit, and we were still able to create the best chances. The best chances of the game. It's true that Southampton hit the post twice with James Ward-Prowse, especially with his free kick. But also we were able to create some really good chances. Here's one of them. Varane, that forced a beautiful save from Bazunu again. Beautiful cross from Bruno Fernandes into the far post. Now, as you can see here, beautiful cross towards Varane, and then here Bazunu again, great save that just keeps Southampton in the game. And then this, I thought this went in. This chance right here by Bruno Fernandes, placing himself in that area 14, in that hole where everything becomes more dangerous. Here Luke Shaw, beautiful, cutting inside towards Bruno Fernandes on his right foot. You know what he's gonna do? Oh, come on, look. What a beauty that was. I really thought it was a goal. I was screaming like a chimpanzee, but unfortunately it's not a goal. Then of course, later in the second half, the introduction of Scott McTominay and Pellistri has actually brought even more dynamism and energy to the Manchester United players, and we were actually able to create 2 of the best chances in the game, some really good plays. Here, for example, Scott McTominay with a beautiful tackle, and then he launches Anthony. Anthony runs with the ball, cuts on his left foot as he always does. Here, Luke Shaw is asking for the ball. Beautiful chipped cross. Come on, this should have been a goal. We get a corner. Great. And then here another one. Look, Scott McTominay, what he's gonna do. Really, I was surprised and impressed by this because this is so not a Scott McTominay play right here. Look at this. Turn, beautiful pass in the pass of Pellistri. Pellistri, amazing. He's shown what he can do in tight spaces as we've seen against Betis Sevilla. He's very smart, very fast, low center of gravity, beautiful player. Cuts in, beautiful cut pass towards Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Now this was one of our best chances. We should have scored this. Aaron Wan-Bissaka comes in. Rashford tries to find some space. The cross was not really where Rashford was asking for it. Now we get a second chance here with Bruno Fernandes. Now here, Rashford should have come towards this penalty spot right here. He didn't really peel away or peel off as well as he could have to receive this pass right here. Didn't really create as good of an angle for Bruno Fernandes to find him, and we missed this chance. But this would have been an amazing chance for us to score that goal that would have given us the 3 points. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you've enjoyed this tactical analysis video. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up. Also, guys, if you didn't know, I do have a Twitter account at Scarlet Report. And so you can follow me on Twitter if you want. Just search it at Scarlet Report. I would love to enjoy some banter with you guys on Twitter as well as on YouTube. So please leave a comment in the comment section below. And until next time, cheers.